You ever get a letter so crazy it makes you question if you're even awake? That was me standing in the last rays of Texas sunlight, clutching this certified envelope that might as well have been ticking. Mandatory compliance, new HOA, surrender your land rights. Or else those words were etched so deep in my brain I swear I could still see them when I closed my eyes. 48 hours before that, I was just a widower, scraping together a new life on a beat-up old ranch, convinced I could outrun my grief. Turns out I was standing on a gold mine the whole time, $300 million in oil beneath my boots. That's when the game started. I'd bought that ragged patch of land for $180,000, not even caring why it was so cheap. Just wanted somewhere the ghost of my wife Rosalind couldn't sneak up on me in every hallway. Those first weeks I nearly worked myself to death fixing fences and patching roofs, sweating out the ache and thinking maybe, just maybe, the silence would heal me. But nothing prepares you for loss like that. Rosalind had only been gone 6 months. Cancer. Efficient, cruel, no bargaining. So I sold the house in Austin, found this lonely ranch, and tried to fill up the emptiness with purpose. That purpose arrived wrapped in oil-stained canvas stashed under a loose floorboard in the basement, an old geological map detailed and annotated, warning anomaly zone. Do not drill. The coordinates matched my land smack over Eagle Ford Shale. Someone had known decades before what this dirt was hiding. The scientist in me couldn't let it go. I spent 2 days cross-referencing, crunching numbers, checking modern data. Every bit of evidence lined up millions of barrels, hundreds of millions in the ground. My grief was still raw, but for the first time I felt a flicker of hope. I saw a future where I could use that money to do good fund research conservation, maybe even start a foundation in Rosalind's name. Then came the black SUV parked at my gate, 2 guys with cameras acting like the FBI. They sped off as soon as I made myself visible. That night, a catalog appeared in my mailbox: mineral rights consultations, legal advice for landowners. Thing is, I'd told no one. I started locking my doors for the first time since moving in. Next came the certified letter. Clearwater Estates Homeowners Association, it said. I'd never heard the name, and I'd checked every inch of this property's history. The letterhead looked expensive. The legalese was thick, but the rules were crystal clear. No drilling, no geological surveys, no leasing mineral rights without HOA consent. Fees, restrictions, penalties, every word designed to keep me from touching what was under my land. 12 members in the association, most of them faceless LLCs, some individuals who might as well have been ghosts. The whole thing had been set up right after I bought the place, not bureaucracy strategy. That afternoon they came in person. A shiny BMW, a woman named Lavinia Thornhill, with a smile sharper than a razor, her lawyer Everett right behind her. They talked about community environmental stewardship, how the aquifer supplied water to nearby towns. Their rules, for everyone's protection. Sure, the way she said surface ownership and mineral rights are distinct concepts, I knew she'd done her homework. They knew exactly what was beneath my feet. Their visit was meant to corner me, not welcome me. I called Marlo Shepard, the attorney who'd handled my closing. Sharp as a tack. She dropped everything when I told her what was happening. Monday morning, a 40-page lawsuit arrived, claims that I'd violated a 1995 covenant, committed environmental crimes, endangered protected habitats. The relief they wanted: shut me down, freeze my title, lock me out of my own land. Marlo flipped through the paperwork, scowling. This isn't negotiation, Holden. They want to break you. The signatures, seals, and notary marks looked off fresh ink on old paper. She promised to file a motion, but warned me fighting this could wipe me out. That night I woke to the sound of drilling, real industrial drilling. I chased 3 trespassers off my property before they could finish. The deputy who showed up was sympathetic but honest. If this is tied to your HOA fight, things might get complicated. Next morning I found a note on my door. Sell now. $250K or lose everything. No name, no contact. They wanted to show me just how thoroughly they planned to rob me. It didn't stop. The HOA unleashed a public relations blitz, painting me as some outsider hell-bent on poisoning the land for profit. Local forums blew up with my name. My phone started ringing off the hook with threats and hate. They held a town hall without inviting me, spun the narrative till nobody remembered what was real. That night, surrounded by legal docs and hate mail, I felt totally alone, but I also remembered what Rosalind used to say: when they come at you this hard, it's because you've got something they need. I hired a private investigator. He was old school gravel voice, Ford pickup eyes that missed nothing. He dug deep. Turned out the HOA was a shell, no real members, just paper companies and fake people. The president, Lavinia, was meeting with the CEO of Apex Energy Solutions, an oil company with a track record of shady deals and mineral rights scams. Apex, through a forged deed, claimed to own the mineral rights to my land. But the investigator traced it back: fake paperwork, a scheme years in the making. Marlowe's eyes went wide. This is RICO territory, organized crime. We needed a whistleblower, more evidence. That night I got an anonymous email: I have evidence. Meet me at the Highway 71 diner. It could have been a setup, but I was desperate enough to try. When I showed, nobody came either. They got cold feet, or it was just another intimidation move. The HOA didn't let up. A second lawsuit hit, this time with environmental experts and fake soil reports claiming my land was a disaster waiting to happen. The Judge Worth, who'd been paid off by Apex, though I didn't know it yet, imposed a restraining order locking me out of the section with the richest deposits. My funds bled out fast: repairs, legal fees, even pawning Rosalind's wedding ring. The cruelty burned. They wanted to strip me of everything, right down to her memory. Threats escalated. My truck was vandalized. I got a call: stop digging or you'll be buried. Every night I slept with a handgun by my bed, hoping I'd never need it. Then the hammer fell. Someone had been leaking our legal strategy. Marlowe's own assistant was a plant. They'd outplayed us at every turn, always one step ahead. I was exhausted, out of money, out of options, standing on a fortune I couldn't touch, surrounded by wolves who knew the law better than I did. But here's the thing about having nothing left: there's a strange kind of freedom in it. I dug in deeper. Another anonymous message landed in my inbox: I have evidence. Midnight Diner, Route 83. This time the PI watched my back from afar. The contact, a former Apex geologist, handed me a USB full of damning proof emails, internal memos, fake covenants, even records of bribes to the judge. My case, labeled Operation Clearwater, was part of a multi-state scam: create a fake HOA, bankrupt the owner, steal the oil. Armed with this, Marlowe went to war. The news broke: oil giant exposed fake HOA land grab. Suddenly the whole narrative flipped. Journalists flooded the courthouse. Judge Worth tried to keep the lid on, but we had him dead to rights. The evidence got the FBI involved. The judge recused the fake HOA, revealed as a corporate weapon. In court, Marlowe shredded their experts, exposed the forgeries, and projected Apex's own emails for everyone to see. The judge who replaced Worth ruled fast: fraudulent covenant dismissed, fake environmental claims thrown out, HOA dissolved, restraining order gone. Apex and Lavinia referred for criminal prosecution. For the first time in months, I breathed easy. You ever wonder if justice actually happens? 4 months later, it did. Federal indictments, prison sentences, fines. Lavinia, her attorney, the Apex CEO, even Judge Worth, all convicted. The civil case, I won $4.2 million from Apex plus $800,000 from Lavinia herself. I paid my legal team, donated $500,000 to help others fighting the same battle, and put the rest aside for a new start. The ranch, I kept it. Signed with a reputable oil company, 70% royalties, eco-friendly practices, jobs for locals, money for conservation, and a scholarship fund named for Rosalind. The house got a fresh coat of paint, fences, rebuilt, the prairie restored. Marlowe became more than just my attorney. The PI turned into a friend. The journalist who broke the story showed up with a Pulitzer wanting to know how the story ended. I visit Rosalind's grave, sometimes let her know I did it. I fought, I kept my word. I built something better out of all this wreckage. The land is rich, but what matters is this: standing your ground, even when everything's against you, is how you make change. Maybe it takes losing everything to finally understand what's worth fighting for. So let me ask you, if it was your name on that letter, would you fold or would you fight? Where do you draw the line between power and justice, between what's legal and what's right? Drop your story below. Tell me where you stand, because somewhere out there, someone is fighting the same battle and wondering if it's worth it. And if you've ever faced a crooked system or stood up when it would have been easier to walk away, hit that subscribe, share your story, and let's make sure these fights get seen, because sometimes justice needs an audience.